Everybody joining me on the show right now is Dale County Warriors head coach Evan Ballard. They are 4-2 right now, overall 3-1 region play out of 4A Region 2. And Coach Ballard, I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. We were just kind of with some off-air talk. I was telling you, very excited to talk to you about y'all's win from Friday night, 35-21. Over Op, another region victory. I had a little bit of everything, but just your overall thoughts on your team coming out with a win on Thursday night.
Yeah, just proud of their resiliency. Probably the most thing, we got down 14-0 in the third quarter and was able to battle back. That was the thing that you're most proud to see. 0-0 at halftime. We're playing real well on defense and really weren't playing that bad on offense. We just kind of made some mistakes, put us behind the chains, but they came out and hit us with two quick scores, one after a turnover. So just to see our guys, not get down on themselves and be able to fight back, I was very proud of that.
Yeah, 0-0 at halftime, and just kind of seeing what I've been able to see from the game, highlights and stuff like that. It looked like you guys had a couple opportunities, but just weren't able to get them in the end zone. What was going on there with the first half with the 0-0 tie?
Yeah, we had a chance to score early in the first quarter. We had a fourth down play where we ran a little quarterback run with Junior, and it looked like to me that he got over the goal line, but they called him short, so we missed an opportunity there. Had other opportunities. We were driving, just had some penalties that set us back. And the offense they run, they do a good job with it, and they take some time off the clock running it. So, we're limited possessions, but we moved the ball fairly well. We hurt ourselves in some different opportunities, but we're able to fix some of that in the second half.
Yeah, when you're moving the ball, you're playing well, but you're tied up at 0 going into halftime. I guess the good thing is they're not scoring either. What's kind of like the message to the team?
Yeah, the message at halftime was, hey, if you want to win another region championship, you're going to have to play tough teams like this. You're going to have to come together in a game like this. It's not going to be easy. We knew that going into it, and that was really just the message was, whatever it takes to win. Whether that means we win 3-0, 2-0, or it's 35-21, it doesn't matter. At this point in the year, you're playing good opponents, and so you just want to do whatever you can to get a win.
So, second half, and you mentioned this, they jump out, they get a 14-0, and you guys get it on the board with a touchdown pass. Cody Jagers, he scores. You guys get 14-7, and they get within 14-13. Junior Smith forced fumble, then Stacey Atkins returned for touchdowns, and both of them guys forced fumble, but Stacey Atkins found the ball a couple times on some fumble opportunities.
Yeah, two big ones. That one that the sack that Junior had that forced a fumble, Stacey picked it up, had a really good run, and then the next one whenever it was actually tied at that point. Jordan Owens made a really good tackle towards the sideline, and Stacey found the ball again. So getting 4 turnovers really helped. Our guys, relentless pursuing the football. And we talk about that a lot as being able to gain tackle. And whenever you do that, and you're constantly pursuing, good things tend to happen.
Yeah, I hear it all the time. Just get to the ball. And, like you said, that will happen for you. And then you guys tied it up there. It was 21-13. They added another score there. And going to the fourth quarter, you guys were still down 21-13, and then Junior had that big run, 39-yard touchdown, went straight up the middle, and just the acceleration he had at one point just got by everybody. What did you see on that play that tied up the game for you guys?
Yeah, it was a good play, and we blocked it up really well. Off of a power read action, we were able to get the guard pulling, and he did a good job of being patient on that one, setting his block up. And whenever he did, some of the motion that we sent, got the defense flow that way, and we just blocked it up really good. And he did a good job finding the hole and then breaking free. And then the 2-point play was big. It was actually a play that Coach Evans saw, and they put in at halftime, a little pop pass to Stacey. So that was big for us. And, even going into that, there was, big third down conversions too that were big. Aaron found Junior on a couple of them on that drive. They found him on one that drive, and found him on a big third down before we got that first score with Cody. So, just a lot of key plays leading into that to help us get it tied up.
Just the season overall for your quarterback, Aaron Beasley. I know we talked about him when I had you on before the season. obviously taking over at that position. How have you seen him grow this season?
Yeah, he's getting better. Every game, he's getting more comfortable and more confident. I mean, it's tough. I've lived it being a sophomore, having to start on Friday nights. It's just different. Speed of the game's different. But he's done a better job each and every week of just taking what the defense gives him. And, he did a much better job the other night stepping up in the pocket a few times. So he's definitely improving and getting more comfortable back there.
When you guys, did eventually take the lead, go up 28-21, Junior Smith with the 1 yard touchdown after Jordan Owens forced a fumble, and then, of course, Stacey Atkins with the recovery there. I can't even imagine just, the job's not done, but the excitement there on the sidelines, you with this comeback, tied up at halftime 0, down by 14, down by 8, then you finally take the lead.
Yeah, it was big, and I think the whole time, whenever we got that first score to make it 14-7, a lot of the guys just kind of said, hey, coach, we can do this, and I think they sensed that and they knew it. And, to be able to put together a drive whenever it was tied after that turnover was big. And, we did a good job, too, of being able to run the football, which is something that has been a point of emphasis for us, something we struggled with a little bit this year. And that was the best thing about that drive. We were able to run the football, to be able to take some time off the clock and give them only things about 1 minute and 40 or so left for them to try to put together a drive, which is tough for a team like that runs football like they do. So it really put us in a good spot to be able to control some clock before we got in as well.
Yeah, of course, Junior Smith with the fumble return touchdown put you guys at 35-21, and you're able to hold them off. That, as you say, when a running team, when they have to throw it, that kind of takes them out of their comfort zone. What was the challenge, going into that game, just defensively against them, because the way they like to run the football?
Yeah, they're good. I mean, they run a lot of wing T type style offense, so that in itself is tough. But then on top of it, every single time they sprint up the line of scrimmage, so you have to be ready, because by the time they break the huddle, they're snapping the football within 1 or 2 seconds. So, we really had to be good on defense as far as alignment. We had to change some things up this week prior to the guys being able to adjust with some different looks we wanted to give them. And our older guys, our scout team guys in practice, they played a role in that. We had a lot of our guys that don't play defense, but a lot of our starting offensive linemen were our scout team this week to give us a really good look to simulate it in practice. So, we gave up some big plays here and there, which were tough, but to be able to hold serve in the first half and then be able to get key stops in the second half, very proud of that group.
I mean, I have to imagine after a game like this, just the excitement, all the stuff we talked about here, what went down with this game, it had to be like a big sigh of relief when the clock hit 000.
Yeah, it was big. I mean, and the thing about this group and this team, we lost a lot of seniors off last year's team, but we also got a lot of guys that are coming back off a team that won a region championship, and that's been our goal, and winning this one, we still got a lot of work to do. But it does put us in a good spot, after dropping one to Strawn early against a good team. Now it's a log jam at the top, but, puts us in a spot that, if we do what we're supposed to the next 3 weeks, we're going to have a chance at the end.
Yeah, and of course that starts with Daleville this Friday, and looking at Daleville, they're 1-5 on the year. I know they're 0-4 in region, but just seeing what little bit I know about them, that I think that record can be misleading. They're an improved team from what they were last year, and they got a really good player in Javion McLeod, their running back. I think he had 284 yards and 3 touchdowns against Pike County last week. Just what you've seen from Daleville, what sticks out to you, and what's going to be important for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head stopping Javion McLeod. I was at Daleville for a year. He was an 8th grader whenever I was there, and you knew he was going to be a special talent, special player. And he is. I told our coaches today in our coaches meeting, and something we'll emphasize to our kids on defense for us. We say all the time that we don't mind necessarily giving up yards. Sometimes the goal is to stop points, but whenever you're playing him, it's not giving up yards, because if you let him get loose, it's not giving up yards, get him on the ground, because he's probably going to score a touchdown. He's just that fast. on the perimeter whenever he's able to break loose. So we've got to make sure that we fit the run. And it's going to take all of us. I mean, it's going to take everybody fitting the run, being in the right spots, because at any point, any given play, I think against Pike County, he had over a 90-yard run. So, I mean, he does a good job being patient and not searching for the big play. So we're going to have to all be on the same page where we fit the run against those guys.
And you mentioned, the region, a logjam. With you guys, Ashford, Opp, Strawn, all 3-1. And look, I know a lot of people say something about them for, but I also look at New Brockton and Pike County, both at 2-2. They're, back there trying to get in that conversation as well. Just in a sense, and I don't want to look at it, you got Daleville this week, and that's the most important thing. But just in a way, the playoffs has kind of already started for you guys.
Yeah. I mean, it has. I mean, that was a big win on Thursday night, but still a lot of work to be done, and I mean, there's still, key games for everybody. So, there's really, no telling how it can finish up. But, I think it's something that, everybody in our region kind of anticipated, really last year whenever the region realignment came out. I told somebody even last year, and it's the same this year, the good thing about it, and it's a challenge, is you feel like every week if you do what you're supposed to, you're going to give yourself a chance to win. But on the flip side, the other team feels the same way too. So I mean, it's every single week. Both teams feel like, hey, if we do what we're supposed to do throughout the course of the week, prepare the right way, they feel like they're going to be in a good spot. So it makes it fun. There's no doubt about it. You got to be prepared every week, but it's definitely a challenge because there are no weeks off.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Coach, I appreciate you coming on. Before I let you go, as always, anything else about your team or anything else you want to talk about that I didn't ask you about?
No, I'm just proud of this group, proud of how they've responded, and really the thing I'm most proud of right now, and it's got to continue, is just different ways that we've been able to find ways to win. And it hadn't always been pretty. But it's like I told them, at the end of it, the only thing that's going to matter is that win-loss column. So, we just got to keep that mindset of, whatever it takes to win. And if we can do that and keep the right mindset, then I like where we're at going down the stretch.
All right. Well, Coach, again, I appreciate you taking some time out to talk here on the podcast about your Warriors, your team, and good luck on Friday night against Daleville. And I appreciate you coming on.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.